Hey guys, what is happening, and welcome to this video. So today we are talking about commercial real estate. So what a better place to talk about it than walking around this mostly empty office space, brand new, just built, like most of the stuff around here, and they're building more over there. This is huge, guys. We need to talk about this. So before we get started, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Without further ado, guys, let's get into this. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome back. So what a lot of people don't realize about commercial real estate is it's going to lead the collapse. Now, let me explain that. Basically, you've got what is going on in commercial real estate around the globe right now is so similar to what happened in 2008. You just cannot believe it, okay? And nobody can argue with this. And let me tell you something, guys. Commercial real estate is going to come to light this year. And a lot of people don't realize that commercial real estate will be the start of this credit crisis, not residential real estate. Why? Because it will be the first to fall. In fact, it's already fallen. So here in Calgary, for example, a massive 30% of offices are vacant, yet they are still building hundreds and hundreds, just like the ones right behind me. And the fact is that you cannot believe or even know how crazy this is. Because the thing is, guys, this is a huge building, and there are, like, look at the size of this one they're building back there. And there is loads of empty offices over there, this whole complex. There's multiple units like this going down the road, and they're still building. So there's no demand, offices are vacant, but they're still building. Why are they doing that? That's because the companies that sought out and built all these office spaces, they got the permits, everything to construct these places before the cerveza sickness happened. So the thing is, now they are still building these things. Commercial real estate actually takes longer to get built than residential, believe it or not. And it's going to create a financial crisis. In fact, this financial crisis is already happening, guys. Commercial real estate bonds are at a total massive loss, and it is absolutely insane. So you have to ask yourself the question, what is going to happen? Because essentially you've just got loads of empty office buildings exactly like this all over the city, and obviously somebody's paid to build them. These are usually financed by the big banks, just to let you know. And then it's a management company like Brookfield that comes in. They own all the units and they lease them. So most of these units here are for lease. Funnily enough, the only two people which are in this building is a immigration lawyer and a ticket fine fight, you know, like fight tickets. That is a sign of the times, guys. You know, immigration, I mean, it just makes me laugh. Like, it's literally a Ponzi scheme. When the whole entire economy is operating like this, it's operating like a Ponzi scheme. The greater fools are people who are coming in, immigrants like myself. Now, I'm not coming in now. You know, had I reevaluated the situation and was I looking to emigrate right now from England, I would have not come to Canada. I would have gone to the US. Back when I emigrated, Canada was better than the US marginally, and that's why we came here. So the thing is, guys, with all these places that are vacant, which is everywhere, you have to wonder, how is the financing work? You have to wonder, how does the financing work for these places? Like, you cannot have a building that gets built, you know, there's only 20% of the offices that are filled, and you're on the hook. Somebody is on the hook for that money. But the thing is, guys, it takes a while for that to actually ripple out. And it was the same in residential real estate. It took about 2.5 years for that to ripple out, because housing prices actually started to decline in most places in the US. I'm talking about residential housing prices. They actually started to decline in 2006, but it was only in the end of 2008 where you really saw that come to light in all the derivatives that are sold. Now, the derivatives, the amount of derivatives that are sold is, your mind would be blown. George Gammon, shout out to him. He actually did a video on this on a while back, and I'm going to try and find it because he had an excellent illustration. It was an actual visual representation of how much dollars in derivatives are out there, and it will blow your mind. It's bigger than the stock market, the forex market, all of them combined, the bond market, you name it. Derivatives are the biggest financial thing that are sold. And what falls under that category are things like commercial mortgage-backed securities, which you're going to hear more and more about. Moving forward, you have to ask yourself the question, well, what's going to happen then? Well, you could see big companies, they're already at a loss, but you could see these big companies, one of them go bankrupt, like a Lehman moment, a Lehman type moment. Could be Brookfield, for example. I know a lot of their real estate investment trusts are absolutely being pummeled like you would not believe. So commercial mortgage-backed securities, how would this affect the residential market? Well, the fact is, if interest rate hikes happen, you're going to see the housing market level off, if not decline. And when that happens, you don't have to worry about that. I would be keeping an eye on this sector even more so than the housing market, because what people don't understand about the residential real estate market, all these YouTubers that have no idea about economics, no idea about logical finances, they don't have a clue. When it comes to stuff like commercial mortgage-backed securities, when it comes to commercial real estate, it has all the firepower to create a credit crisis, and it would be a credit crisis in every country, because all the countries that have suffered really bad from this commercial real estate collapse, if you will, they're going to be affected, guess what, guys, by its demise. So when that happens, there will be a credit crunch. Now, Canadians don't even realize what a credit crunch is. They haven't seen one since the 90s. And what a credit crunch is, it's when credit conditions change because, you know, banks are losing money on stuff like this, and finally it comes out and they can't hide it anymore. When that all happens, basically what you have is a big recipe for disaster. Because you see, what happens, guys, is credit conditions change, and then banks don't want to lend to you. They are trying to hoard cash. It's the opposite of what you have right now, where they will lend to anybody with a pulse. And a lot of people will say, no, that's not true. Trust me, it's true. Do your own research and just call around, pretend you're a person who has no credit, who's just moved to the country, and find out how easy it is to get a loan, and you will be absolutely shocked. So it will be a very different time to what we have right now, where lending is very easy. Like, money is easy to get. And you know, I'll never forget, it was is it Steven Seagal? It was somebody like that who said, because his timeshare business, and there's a whole documentary on this called the Queen of Versailles or whatever it is, and you can go look at that. But he says in that documentary, they got us addicted to cheap money and then they took it away from us. And that is exactly what you're gonna see right here. They got us addicted to cheap money, and they're gonna, the punch bowl's gonna be took away, but the places where it's gonna be impacted first are commercial real estate. Commercial real estate is where it will be impacted first. but that doesn't mean it's not going to affect residential. You see, residential real estate is propped up on credit. So if you have a credit crunch where banks don't want to lend, it doesn't matter what the inventory is like. You know, what people forget about 2008, the 1990s, I talked to another subscriber about this, and I'm going to do a video about this because he's an older guy, very successful. We had a long discussion about this, but anyway, the crux of it is, guys, people don't realize that when these downturns happen, it's not only jobs that get affected, but there are a lot of people that actually want to buy. They see the prices and they want to buy. The banks won't let them buy though. And that is a big game changer. And this whole situation right here is a big game changer. Calgary, one of the worst cities affected in Canada, but nevertheless, I know from people on this channel, from friends, that downtown Toronto, most of the office buildings are vacant. You're gonna see this, guys, and it's not gonna be pretty, and it's just funny because it's the sign of the times. You've got an immigration lawyer and somebody fighting traffic tickets from the government, you know, regardless, but you can't build an economy around this facade that everything is booming. Canada has a booming economy and everything's going to be okay. So guys, commercial mortgage-backed securities. I did a video on this a while ago and I'll link it below. Go check that one out too. But this year, I'm telling you, we're going to become experts on commercial mortgage-backed securities, and people are going to be saying, how did we not see this coming when offices were 30% vacant? Anyway, guys, if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel below. I also have a podcast on Spotify. We talk about completely separate things to what we talk about on here. Anyway, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace and love, guys. Bye-bye.